Oh dear me, zone 3 for me today. Yeah, I wasn't sure if Christian was coming this morning, but see, look what I am. Miles and miles and miles away. It didn't go high enough. Now you may remember from the last videos is that most of you guys were up and down this sort of line here. There was some further to the right, and I said no. I'm going to the left of everybody. I'm sticking to my guns. Well, that bit me in the arse, didn't it? Because now I'm miles away from it. Our average was 40 pixels out horizontally that way, but about 225 pixels out height-wise. So I think our average was around about where mine was, but further over to the right. So I know a few of you would have been more or less under this, but you know, zone 3 under it. And this sort of was my fear, is that some of the judges would go by the angle of his head rather than where his eyes were looking, because when you closed in on his eyes, they weren't looking at anywhere near as high as that. But you look at this photo now, sort of zoomed out, the angle of his head, and you think, oh yeah, he's looking up there somewhere. But there you go, you don't know what they're going to do to you. Alright, let's have a look at what they did do. Here we are, 8 judges this week, and to be fair, if you just, I mean, there's 7 crosses along that line there, and look how narrow that spread is if you just went from that one there on the right. If you took out that one up there on the right and just kept that one in, and, you know, these, well, all 7 of these, look how narrow that spread would have been. That would have been one of the narrowest spreads we'd ever seen, would have been along there. But of course, there's one over here on the right-hand side, which I can't see myself. As far as I'm concerned, that's too high from this player, and it's too far over to our right for this player. So I'm not sure whose cross that is, but it doesn't fit into either player, if you ask me. But you didn't, so that doesn't matter. But what do I think they're going to take out here? They might take that one out on the right, and this one at the bottom here is quite low. Although I think that was about where my first cross was last week when I first played. It was, I think I might have been further to the left, but it was about that sort of height where I'd gone last week. Just whereas his eyesight, the guy at the back here, just sort of looked over his hand. I'm sure I was around that area, my first cross. But I can't remember if I changed it before I actually did the video. But I was much lower than it at the time. So yeah, I mean, we did say, and I think one of you said in the comments last Tuesday that the problem is going to be the height again this week. This fella at the front here, he wasn't such of an issue. You could see both his eyes; he was roughly in that direction. But it was this fella. It was how they interpreted this guy at the back and the height, and they are very much every one of them spread out, almost a single line, but all spread out on different heights as they saw it. I'm going to skim to the end and see, did they take anything out? Oh no, yes they did. They took out 2, Liam's and Wendy's. They took out the one up there on the right, it didn't make sense, and the other one I suggested they might. I didn't think they'd take them both out, I thought they might take one out, because they're reluctant to take too many out. That did leave a very tight cluster of the other 6 out, didn't it? Do you know, as much as I like to think, yeah, all the judges are wrong, when you think, yeah, okay, but 6 of them, all in a similar area, and me nowhere near it, then you got to go with the averages here, and you think, well, if everybody else thought it was that area, and I'm the one that thought it was somewhere else, then I'm obviously the one at fault here, aren't I? But there we are, they've agreed on 6 judges' crosses, and they've gone there. But I noticed the winner, he was 1 pixel out on the X and 1 pixel out on a Y, so he didn't have it spot on either. Right, okay. Oh, I know. Yeah. What am I doing? Yeah, this week's picture then. No, I've moved this a couple of times. So that wasn't the first cross I'd put in today or yesterday or whenever it was I did it. I moved it a couple of times because initially I was looking at this fella's in the back, his right eye, which is to the left of us, and I put him much further to the left, and consequently lower down. But I had to consider that he's a fair way behind this other player that looks like he might have just headed it. sideways. And also, I figured he's looking higher than his head from that distance. But this fella in the front here, all tensed up with the big arms, he's does look as though he's looking slightly up. His eyebrows are raised, but also he's looking in front of him, which puts it even further away from the guy at the back. So he's got to have some height on it, because this fella in the foreground here, you can see the back of her head, he doesn't seem to be making any effort to go for it or to jump for it or anything. So he must have hit it up in the air somewhere. So that's why I've gone there. Might not make a lot of sense, I suppose, but so I've gone in that direction because I reckon he's looking slightly up in front of him, because he looks like he might have just headed it. The way his head is all, his neck is all tensed up and sort of towards his shoulder, and his shoulders up. Looks like he's just headed it to me, sort of sideways-ish. And then it did fit in. If I put it there, it did fit in for me from the other player too. So I've gone for that sort of angle there at the moment. Of course, it could be higher, lower, further to the left, further to the right. But like I said, I was lower than that, and I was further to the left initially. And then the more I've looked at it this afternoon, when I was supposed to be working, the more I thought, yeah, do you know what? I think it's further right than I'd originally gone. So I went over there, and then I tried to figure this guy out and thought, well, he's just headed it. So chances are it's going to be higher and quite a bit in front of him now, which means there's a hell of a way in front of the guy at the back. So that's why I've gone where I've gone. And that, I'll put it in the comments as the first one, 23301538. So let me know how you got on, because I know there was a few of you going around that area, because everybody had gone further to the right than me, and some of you had gone higher up. So some of you must have got pretty close to that, to the winning cross today. And leave a coordinate for Saturday so we can make another video and see where we think the average is, even though it was way out this week. Before we move on to Revcomps, I don't know if any of you, well, some of you must have, but perhaps you hadn't seen it when I made the video. I had an email this afternoon from BOTB saying you've got 5 tickets in your basket to win 30 grand on the midweek lifestyle. But you got to do them quick because the midweek lifestyle finishes today. So I went into the basket and I clicked on checkout, and I thought they'd all gone through. Well, then when I noticed the basket, there was only 4 there, so it had only seemed to have put 1 through. And then I clicked on checkout again, and then it showed that it was 3 in the basket. So I clicked on checkout for those 3 tickets, and then it dropped to 2. And I thought, well, it looks like these 5 tickets are going through one at a time. But when I went into my competitions and the lifestyle competition to see what tickets I had bought, you could see there, look, 1407, 1407, 1408, 1408, 1409. That was the 5 times that I clicked on checkout. So there it says ticket quantity 5, then 4, then 3, then 2 to 1. And I thought, well, that can't be right, because if that's right, that means I've had 15 tickets instead of 5. But when I check the order details, show tickets, it shows 5 tickets. And then I go on to the next one, show tickets, shows 4 tickets. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely did have 15 tickets instead of 5 tickets due to what looks like a fault on the website. Now, I don't know if they're going to realise what they've done and then remove them, so I'm back to just having 5 tickets, or whether they leave it, because it makes no difference to them. The fact that they're giving away tickets anyway, they're still only going to pay out 1 winner. So, you know, they could give 1,000 tickets to 1 million people. It's not going to cost them any more. They're still only giving 1 prize out to whoever wins the lifestyle competition. So it's no loss to them. But it's a bonus for me, because instead of the 5, in fact, I had one last week as well. You can see it at the bottom on the 2nd of May, which would have been Friday. Yeah, so I had one Friday, a freebie, and then they give me another freebie today before it finishes tonight. Well, 5 freebies, which ended up as 15 freebies. So I don't know if the same happened for you or not, but if it did, don't tell them. Don't message them and say, hang on a minute, I think there's something wrong here. You've given me 10 too many tickets. Please take them back. Just shut up. No, seriously, I expected them to at some point take them off, but then I thought they might just let them run because, it's not costing them anything. But this is one of the reasons that I don't play the midweek lifestyle, because I've bought tickets for the midweek lifestyle in the past, and then they start giving out freebies to people, and it's like, well, I'm not going to be giving you my money. I'm not buying my tickets if you're giving freebies to people. It's the same with this thing they've been doing where Christian is standing in the street and saying, yeah, if you can tell me what car's under this handkerchief, the car's yours. And we're paying money every week for a chance to win a car, and they're just giving it away to people that have never played before in the street. I mean, don't begrudge the people winning a car. It's the fact that, let's have more benefit for the people that are paying the money, rather than people that have never heard of the company, just ending up with a free car, never played. Anyway, enough griping. Let's get on to Revcomps. So what have I got for Thursday? Can't remember. Oh, it's just this one, I think. Yeah, I didn't fancy anything on here. I just went for one ticket, I think. Just on this BMW M5 Touring Combat Drive plus 5k or 100,000. So yeah, I just got one ticket just to be in the draw because there was nothing I fancied on there. Then I added some more last night for next Monday's draw. And I haven't bought a ticket yet, but I'm going to do the same thing. I wasn't going to bother at all with any of these. Then I thought I might do one on this Lambo because that's cash alternative of 100,000 as well. I do like this mine. I am tempted by this BMW. Mainly because it's only 5,000 tickets and I like the colour. But other than that, there was nothing there I fancied. Auto draws. I am on this, but I've only got one. I'm cutting them all back to one these days because 3 isn't getting me anywhere, or 5 or 7, whatever. So I just got one on this BMW. I haven't got high hopes. It's 12,000 tickets, but I'm in it. And there's another one tomorrow. I am hard about this one. Wasn't sure what to do about that because this is one of the £620 a year to tax for the next couple of years. And then I thought, yeah, well, worry about that when you win it. So yeah, but that's all I got, I think, on the auto draws. I didn't do this Fiat Abarth. I haven't done this one because there's 50,000 tickets. There's a couple more in a pipeline as well in the checkout page, but I haven't done any of them yet. But I'll have a look as it gets closer, I expect. There we are. I hope you had an enjoyable bank holiday weekend. I went to that car show in up the Welsh Valleys on, what day was this, Sunday. It was all right. I suppose it was about 60 cars there, perhaps 50, 60 cars there. Some nice cars, old Fiestas, which were basically bog standard, just very old. They were nice to look at. A couple of minis, RS Cosworth Escort. Yeah, some nice cars up there, and a couple of weird, freaky ones. Right, let's get on with it. Let me know you got on. Leave a ticket for the weekend, and good luck, everyone.